Hello, my name is Marc Drouinaud Jr. If you're new here, I do cyber-related videos.
So, card skimming unfortunately affects the most in need because of two key things.
First, most states do not equip EBT cards with smart chip technology, which can make payment cards more difficult and expensive for skimming thieves to clone.
Number two, in the SNAP program, federal laws bar states from replacing SNAP benefits using federal funds.
So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna cover extensively how card skimming affects the most in need. We're gonna get right into it. We're going dark. This story is courtesy of Krebs Security. So card skimmers are small electronic devices illegally installed inside gas pumps that collect information from the magnetic strip on your credit or debit card when it is used during a transaction. They first began to appear in Florida in 2015 and have grown exponentially since. Initially, these devices were attached to card readers on the outside of the gas pump, but now scammers are installing them inside the pump and often employing Bluetooth technology or integrated cell phone components to transmit card and PIN information. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, FDACS for short, inspects gas pumps at about 9,000 gas stations, truck stops, and marinas each year, and has removed over 5,500 skimmers since 2015. FDACS also inspects pumps for safety and accuracy. Skimmers can be undetectable to consumers because of their location inside gas pumps and have a potential for 1 million in fraudulent charges per skimmer. Criminals use the data to create fake debit or credit cards and then steal from victims' accounts. It is estimated that skimming costs financial institutions and consumers more than $1 billion each year. When people banking in the United States lose money because their payment card got skimmed at an ATM, gas pump, or grocery store checkout terminal, they may face hassles or delays in recovering any lost funds, but they are almost always made whole by their financial institution. Yet, one class of Americans, those receiving food assistance benefits via state-issued prepaid debit cards, are particularly exposed to losses from skimming scams and usually have little recourse to do anything about it. Over the past several months, authorities in multiple U.S. states have reported rapid increases in skimming losses tied to people who receive assistance via electronic benefits transfer, also known as EBT, which allows a supplemental nutrition assistance program, also known as SNAP, participant to pay for food using SNAP benefits. When a participant uses a SNAP payment card at an authorized retail store, their SNAP EBT account is debited to reimburse the store for food that was purchased. EBT is used in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and Guam. EBT cards work just like regular debit cards in that they can be used along with a personal identification number, PIN, to pay for goods in participating stores and to withdraw cash from an ATM. However, EBT cards differ from debit cards issued to most Americans in two important ways, which I covered in the intro. First, most states do not equip EBT cards with smart chip technology, which can make payment cards much more difficult and expensive for skimming thieves to clone. Alas, it is no accident that all of the states reporting recent spikes in fraud tied to EBT accounts, including California, Connecticut, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia, appear to currently issue chip-less cards to their EBT recipients. In September, authorities in California arrested 3 men thought to be part of a skimming crew that specifically targeted EBT cards and balances. The men allegedly installed deep insert skimmers and stole pins using tiny hidden cameras.
The arrests were the result of a joint investigation by the Sheriff's Office and Bank of America Corporate Security, reads a September 2022 story from the Sacramento Bee.
The investigation focused on illegal skimming,
particularly the high-volume cash-out sequence at ATMs near the start of each month when electronic benefits transfer accounts are funded by California.
Armed with a victim's PIN along with stolen card data, thieves can clone the card onto anything with a magnetic stripe and use it at ATMs to withdraw cash or as a payment instrument at any establishment that accepts EBT cards. Although it may be shocking that California, one of America's wealthiest states, still treats EBT recipients as second-class citizens by issuing them chipless debit cards, California behaves like most other states in this regard. More critical, however, is the second way SNAP cards differ from regular debit cards. I also covered it in the intro. Recipients of SNAP benefits have little to no hope of recovering their funds when their EBT cards are copied by card skimming devices and used for fraud. That's because in the SNAP program, federal law bars the states from replacing SNAP benefits using federal funds. And while some of these EBT cards have Visa or MasterCard logos on them, it is not up to those companies to replace funds in the event of fraud. Victims are encouraged to report the theft to both their state agency and the local police, but many victims say they rarely receive updates on their cases from police, and if they hear from the state, it's usually the agency telling them it found no evidence of fraud. That's according to Brenna Smith, a reporter at the Baltimore Banner, who recently wrote about the case of a Maryland mother of 3 who lost nearly $3,000 in SNAP benefits thanks to a skimmer installed at a local 7-Eleven. Maryland Department of Human Services spokesperson Catherine Morris told the Banner there was evidence of a nationwide EBT card cloning scheme. The woman profiled in Smith's story contacted all of the retailers where her EBT card was used to buy thousands of dollars worth of baby formula. 2 of those retailers agreed to share video surveillance footage of the people making the purchase at the exact timestamps specified in her EBT account history. The videos clearly showed it was the same fraudster making both purchases with a clone copy of her EBT card. Even after the police officer assigned to the victim's case confirmed they found a skimmer installed at the 7-Eleven store she frequented, her claim, which was denied, is still languishing in appeals months later. The Center for Law and Social Policy, also known as CLASP, recently published 5 ways state agencies can support EBT users at risk of skimming. CLASP says while it is true states can't use federal funds to replace benefits unless the loss was due to a system error, states could use their own funds. Doing so will ensure families do not go without food, gas money, or their rent for the month, CLASP wrote. That would help address the symptoms of card skimming, but not a root cause. Hardly anyone is suggesting the obvious, which is to equip EBT cards with the same security technology afforded to practically everyone else participating in the U.S. banking system. There are several reasons most state-issued EBT cards do not include chips. For starters, nobody says they have to. Also, it's a fair bit more expensive to produce chip cards versus plain old magnetic stripe cards, and many state assistance programs are chronically underfunded. Finally, there's no vocal or at least well-heeled constituency advocating for the change. For the first half of 2022, FICO found a year-over-year increase in compromise events of 759%, up from 548% in the first quarter. That also represents a 501% increase in the overall number of compromised cards detected, indicating that thieves are back to their old tactics of skimming card and PIN information. FICO was also seeing some interesting trends in when and where fraud happens after skimming event. The data shows more than 53% of skimming incidents happen in California, while 23% happen in New York, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. Of the total compromises detected, 63% happened at a single brand of convenience store, while only 20% took place at a branch ATM. So what do you think? Do you think that we should install chip technology as a country in EBT cards for the less fortunate? Let me know what's your thoughts, what's your opinion. I'm so happy for your viewership. Thank you. Click the notification bell. Click the subscribe button. I love you. You're a hack pack. See you in the next video.